Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashy Business Show. Today is 8th of July, Tuesday 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Ward Ahmed and we've got a packed show for you today. Firstly, we're going to discuss how Fadi Ghandour, WAMDA Capital's executive chairman and the Aramix founder, is leading a petition over Sequoia's partners' Islamophobia toward Zohran, Mamdani. Secondly, Dubai duty-free chocolates have smashed records with 2.5 million bars sold in 6 months. And we're going to tell you the homegrown brands that are behind this. The UAE and the World Economic Forum have launched a global platform to future-proof AI regulation. And finally, Bahrain sets Gulf's first stablecoin rulebook leading crypto regulation.
And the very first story today is really interesting from the perspective of Arab founders, Arab media, from the Arab world. Jordanian entrepreneur. Someone said he's Lebanese also in the comments. We're not sure. Jordanian is what we officially saw. But Fadi Ghandour, founder of Aramix and executive chairman of WAMDA Capital, is leading a petition calling for accountability from global venture capital firm Sequoia Capital. The move follows an Islamophobic post made by Sequoia partner Sean Maguire targeting New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani.
Now, in a July 4 post on X, Maguire basically wrote, Mamdani comes from a culture that lies about everything. It's literally a virtue to lie if it advances his Islamist agenda. And if I remember correctly, he basically posted beside this X post this photo where it says Zohran's name and it says that he's black, non-Hispanic. And Zohran Mamdani, the son of filmmaker Mira Nair and academic Mahmoud Mamdani, recently won the Democratic primary. Now, if elected in November, he could become NYC's first Muslim and South Asian mayor.
And Fadi Ghandour condemned the post on LinkedIn, calling Maguire's words ignorant and racist. He launched an open letter demanding action from Sequoia Capital. The petition now has over 300 signatories. I think it's crossed past 400, 500. It's growing quickly. We can't keep up with it, but it represents more than 300 startups, includes founders from Tabi, Hussam Arab, Tamara, Kareem, Mudassir Sheikha. He signed the petition. Bezat is there, Beth is there, Gallo is there. As far as I remember, Lean Technologies is there, where Sequoia has invested in them. There's a whole list. You can go and watch it.
Yeah, and the reason why this is such a big story is because of the fact that Sequoia Capital is among the most prestigious VC firms globally, with a portfolio that includes Apple, Google, Instagram, Zoom, and Nvidia, which they've invested in. It has also invested in the Middle East through Peak XV Partners, previously known as Sequoia Capital India, with deals in Telda, Husby, and Lean Technologies.
And Lean's co-founder Hisham Al-Fali, despite receiving funding from the VC, is among those who signed the petition. Founders have set a deadline of July 14 for Sequoia to respond amid growing calls for accountability and inclusion across the global tech ecosystem.
I think with this entire story, it's so crazy because I think it's the fact that Fadi Ghandour, the Jordanian who created Aramix, he put together a petition that is there to ensure that Sequoia's partner is called out before July 14th. And you have all of these Arab founders from all of these different countries, from the UAE, from Saudi Arabia, from Bahrain, who came together to call out Sequoia Capital. And I think for me, this is a sign that we have such a strong collaborative ecosystem and that they do all know each other.
And if you go and look at the whole thing, you'll realize it's actually, the whole petition is referred to the leadership of Sequoia Capital, and they say we. So shows a lot of solidarity among startups and already established businesses in the Arab world. It just shows their strength that now they are in good numbers and they can demand something. And they say we, the undersigned global founders from across the tech industry, are writing to demand immediate and decisive action in response to the unacceptable conduct of your partner, Sean Maguire. His recent post on X, along with documented pattern of anti-Muslim rhetoric over the past 2 years, has caused significant harm to the global tech community. And then they post the tweet of this guy, and they actually make a very good case. They say this was not a misstep. It's not something he just wrote out of nowhere and
by the way,
he's sorry.
He keeps writing on
Yeah.
X. He keeps responding to people. I even saw this one X post where someone called Paul Midler was like, it is unfashionable to suggest that lying ties to culture or that some cultures practice the habit more than
Yeah.
others. And then you have Sean Maguire responding saying it's the truth. And not only that, he actually fired back to all of his fans and the people who are against him with a YouTube video. He responded with a video to go on and explain exactly how he thinks. And I think when you see somebody with that much power, with that much responsibility in a VC firm that has helped some of the best companies in the world rise from nothing, you really have to sit there and ask yourself, what does this mean for us? Because technically, if you take a look at it, Sequoia does not have that many investments in the Middle East. It's only in like 3 companies. So the fact that you have someone like Sean Maguire who feels so comfortable saying that, you know, lying is a part of someone being whether South Asian and Muslim is just completely concerning. It is concerning because it honestly, Majid, it does put forward the implication of the fact that, you know, not everyone will maybe receive equal funding from Sequoia Capital as other Western companies may.
Yeah. And there's a 3-part, basically, actually a 4-part action plan that they've put forward as well. One, immediate public condemnation and apology. They want apology from Sean Maguire. They actually want him to apologize directly to Zohran, Mamdani, and the wider Muslim community. Then, second is internal disciplinary action. They want Sequoia Capital to carry out a whole internal investigation, and then after the investigation is complete, they want them to make the investigation's findings public. That's the second step. Then there is an anti-discriminatory policy. They want zero tolerance policy on hate speech and religious bigotry. Ensure religion is explicitly included as a protected characteristic in your code of conduct with clear, enforceable consequences. And lastly, they want Sequoia to establish an independent founders ombudsman, or basically, in very simple words, a hotline where everyone can complain about their founders, their managers, whoever, showing hate speech. So it's a very nicely worded, it's a very nicely constructed petition. If you see signed by top name is Tabby.
Majid, you should go on his X. He keeps going. He took Sean Maguire, the Sequoia Capital's partner, who made all of these comments against Mamdani. He's on X. 6 hours ago, he took a photo of the petition and he was like, made it onto the list. I'm very tempted to join it myself. The great irony is journalists are going to use the total signer count in their articles tomorrow. And I think what's even more crazy is the fact that he's saying you can try everything you want to silence me, but it will just embolden me. So all of this, people calling him out, founders calling him out, possible future partners who could collaborate with Sequoia Capital, and his response is, you are emboldening me and I've been watching you.
No, funny thing is, the signatories, that the screenshot that he's posted has very weird random stuff also. And he's saying the journalists will calm them as well. But again, it has started from a place of authority. Fadi Ghandour is a place of authority in the Middle East. If he's making fun of this, imagine the level of contempt he has for this region and Muslims, because it was a very clearly worded Islamophobic tweet. Let's see. He says, might reach escape velocity. McDonald's. Yeah, just go and see what he does on X. But to be honest, right now, the best thing that I see throughout all of this is that the Arab founders have finally stood together and they want action against him. And this, I think we've never seen them stand together for such a big thing. Important. Good to know that they're standing together. Leave the list apart. It's just that all of these founders, they'll talk about it. And when all of them talk, eventually the talk will reach the people at Sequoia
But you know,
Capital.
Majid, like much more than that. I think with me, the reason why I have such an issue with what Sean Maguire said is, you know, not only is it destroying the progress that someone like Zohran Mamdani is going to make. He is definitely going to do it, but much more than that, what it is doing is that it's limiting opportunities for minorities. I think that for the longest time ever, the method in which minorities have been ostracized, it's not just through use of language, but it is through business. And when you lack limited opportunities, you will continue to be a minority, you will continue to be weak, and not have that much power. And I think for me, that's why it's so concerning, because it does pose the question of, will Sequoia provide equal funding to all founders from all nationalities and from all religions? Do you have something else?
Yeah, I think I was just looking through Sequoia's website, and we also, there's a company under them, Stripe. We also did a post, I remember, like at least last year, end of last year, December or November, 7 months ago actually. Stripe is a global consultancy firm. It has drawn criticism after their CEO Patrick Collison actually went to Israel, posted pictures, and was like, oh, such a nice thing to have a walk or run on the beach. So imagine these guys, all of them are nearly together in this. You see them funding each other, working for each other. The only thing that we say is there should be no Islamophobia. You shouldn't go against any religion, shouldn't go against any person on the basis of their religion. Just look at their policies. If you have a problem with Zohran Mamdani's policy, I don't have a problem.
Honestly, Majid, a lot of people have racism, but he's just so public about it. Like he's so confident, he's so comfortable, and I think that does says a lot. But just to move on to a positive topic. So basically, Dubai Duty Free has reported that a major sweet success. Their CEO, Ramesh Sedambi, revealed on Dubai Eye that 2.5 million chocolate bars were sold across Dubai airports in just 6 months, generating 165 million dirhams. So basically, $45 million in revenue. This is so big.
And Sedambi emphasized that the surge is largely driven by homegrown chocolate brands, meaning most of the earnings remain within the UAE economy. It's not just chocolates, its economic impact, he said, underlining the sector's growing importance to the local market.
So leading the pack, of course, is Fix Chocolate, the original Dubai chocolate, co-founded by Sarah Hamouda and her husband, Yazan Alani, famous for their viral pistachio kunafa bar. Now, the brand also created a custom flavor in collaboration with His Highness Crown Prince Sheikh Hamdan, further boosting its profile.
And other notable homegrown names include La Okali, locally, very nice wordplay. I still don't know how to pronounce it, but it offers luxurious date chocolates wrapped in 24K edible gold. And Batil, a veteran brand known for its upscale date chocolates and cafes. Both brands have successfully combined heritage with modern luxury.
So another brand is also Al Nasma, which was in fact founded by the Dubai ruler, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, which basically pioneered camel milk chocolates in the region, while newer brands like Samha and I Love Dubai are making waves with innovative takes on Emirati classics, perfect souvenirs for visitors.
Yeah, and this is big. Chocolates are selling like hotcakes. Very weird idiom to use, but yeah, chocolates are selling like hotcakes. I think perfume was the biggest category, gold was the second one, but then chocolates come in the confectionery category. But this is big, 165 million dirhams is a lot only spent on chocolate. The funny thing is, whenever anyone comes from Pakistan, from my country, or anywhere, I think all the Indian friends here, Ujjwal, our producer, can maybe throw light on this also, that whenever someone visits Dubai, perfumes and chocolates are the first thing that they ask for or they take back. And it's always the international brands, right? Kit Kat and M&M's and all these things. But now it's the other way around. It's the local brands. And that leads to more jobs in the UAE, more manufacturing in the country. adds to the country itself.
And not just that, but for me, I think what stands out the most to me, it's the global recognition.
Yeah.
Like, for example, with Batil is a Saudi-based company, and Batil is the first company in the world to come up with this idea of premium dates, to cover them in chocolate, to fill them with almonds, cashews. And I think what these numbers do, the fact that you have, it's not just Dubai newspapers that are covering this, it's also the Times of India, it's global newspapers. And I think this stands to the testament that Dubai is not just Dubai, but homegrown brands in the Middle East, in the Gulf, are being recognized for, culturally renovating the food industry. And I think that there's nothing more beautiful than that.
Local economy, local stories, whenever anything is doing good, we are always there. Yesterday, Wood did a very nice story, and we're getting some fruit out of it today. We talked about we're not getting fruit, we're actually getting cookies out of it. But we love to cover local brands. If they have a story which is to be told, to be honest, if they have some USP which stands out, we naturally do a story. We did one about Billionaire Cookie. Before that, it was Bake My Day. We've covered brands. We love
Chris
to cover
Fade,
startups.
Fade Fit.
Yeah,
I think that's another unsung hero.
So if you have a startup which is actually doing something really different, you can always hit us up, throw us a DM, and we'll look into it 100%.
But don't worry, I will spot you though.
Yeah,
I will find you.
Worth has a very good eye for food stuff. But tech startups, just throw us a message in our inbox and we will be there. We'll try to look into you, obviously. And moving from that tech startup thing, in a major move to keep us with rapid technological change, the World Economic Forum, WEF, and the UAE have launched the Global Regulatory Innovation Platform. Bear with me. For easier terms, it's called GRIP. They basically want to have a grip on the AI regulations and AI systems that are going rampant across the globe. So it was unveiled in Geneva. The initiative aims to reshape how governments regulate emerging technologies, and one of them is obviously artificial intelligence, and then moreover biotechnology and digital finance.
So GRIP's goal is to close the gap between fast-moving tech innovation and slower policy responses. So it brings together governments, industry leaders, and tech experts to co-create flexible tools and frameworks that can adapt as technologies evolve.
And Borge Brent, President of the World Economic Forum. He's the new guy. The older guy has left, so it's very confusing for me.
Yeah.
But he said innovation moves fast, regulation must too. Over the next 2 years, GRIP will develop a global regulatory playbook, a future readiness index, and a hub to pilot and scale new governance solutions.
And Maryam Al-Hamadi, UAE Minister of State and Secretary General of the Cabinet, highlighted the platform's importance. So she said sustainable economies depend on forward-looking regulation, and that GRIP will empower legislators with the data and tools they need to keep up.
Lastly, the UAE has positioned itself as a global leader in AI regulation. We all know that. Since appointing the world's first AI minister in 2017, the country has rolled out a national AI strategy, launched a dedicated AI university, and integrated AI governance into its cabinet and federal bodies. So they're taking the lead on literally everything AI right now.
Yeah.
But the next story is another country which we didn't expect would do something like this, and that's Bahrain. So they've become the first Gulf country to introduce a standalone rulebook, which is backed by the Central Bank of Bahrain for fiat-backed stablecoins. Just to give you a small stablecoin 101, it's directly pegged or directly attached to whichever currency you're using. So if you're using dollars, it's directly attached to that. So 1 USDT, which is a stablecoin, is equal to $1. Likewise, AE coin, which is a government initiative, will soon see it. It's 1 AE coin will be equal to 1 AED. UAE has been the best country in terms of regulations. We have VARA, Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority. They've built a whole thing. But this is the first time that we have seen a whole rule book which has a lot of stuff, and Worth will tell you more about it. But the Central Bank of Bahrain has unveiled this new framework establishing clear legal and operational standards for stablecoin issuers in the region.
So the rulebook basically requires stablecoins to be fully backed one-to-one by assets with mandatory annual audits and a minimum capital requirement of $660,000. Now, it also imposes strict cybersecurity measures to protect users and excludes algorithmic stablecoins from the framework.
And issuers, if you want to issue a stablecoin, you must guarantee redemption rights for stablecoin holders. That, in very simple term, means if I want to sell it right now, I can get my money as quickly in a second. Ensuring users can redeem their tokens at any time, this approach aims to provide transparency and financial security in a market that is growing rapidly across the Gulf.
So the new regulations are seen as a critical step in providing legal clarity to crypto firms and investors. Now, unlike Bahrain, other Gulf nations such as the UAE have yet to adopt comprehensive regulatory frameworks specifically for stablecoins.
And Bahrain's leadership in crypto regulation could influence other Gulf states as they develop policies and explore central bank digital currencies. The framework may attract global players like Circle, keen on tapping into the Gulf's remittance corridors. Circle recently went live on the New York Stock Exchange. They did their IPO, earned a lot of money, doubled their opening amount, and they want to balance it with balance innovation with financial safety, obviously.
Honestly, this is so important. I remember, Majid, I was at this Binance event. I've gone to quite a couple now, and you can honestly tell that not everyone understands what's going on. You can seriously tell because this is like a new age of economy. It is a new age of currency. So I think that to ensure that people are safe when they're making these transactions is of utmost importance. And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smashy Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels and Smashy Business, and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashy Business Show, a Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our 1.6 million monthly listeners. Clapping. But we finally touched 1.6 million listeners. I just got an update yesterday from Rich. So yeah, they were very happy. Thank you so much for watching any assets that we have on Augustus Media Podcast Network. We have Love in the Way, we have Love in Abu Dhabi, we have so many Love-in products, and then we have Smashy Business Show. Soon, hopefully we'll have something else, but right now we have Smashy Sports as well. So we have 13 verticals, by the way. If you want to explore all of them, just go to smashy.tv and you can see we're trying to build 13 different ideas. I think someday you will see verticals, and someday you'll see a word on Smashy Food.
Honestly,
heading Smashy
honestly,
Food.
Really, honestly, that
she
would
love
really
to do
good.
it, right?
I would. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.